We've already seen several ways that we can better manage our documents in Microsoft SharePoint. Simply knowing that we have only one true version of a document and it lives in SharePoint, that we're not making copies of it by sending attachments all over our organization, is a great start on document management. But we also know how we can delete documents in SharePoint, how we can add new documents to libraries. You know how to add columns of metadata, like the owner here, so that we can better organize and sort our documents. And we know how to create new document libraries and how to set permissions for those libraries, even if they're different than the permissions for the rest of the site. So, what is document management all about if it's not all of that? Well, there's even more that we can do with document management here in SharePoint. There are two particular things I'd like to focus on in document management. How do we manage documents, and how do we manage records? As we've been working with documents, we've been establishing specifications, mostly by adding columns of metadata to provide specifications. We've also had the ability to add custom columns, not just at a level of a library, but we can add custom columns at the level of an entire site collection. Those custom columns for documents are called site columns. Using those site columns, we can then build content types. A content type allows us to be very specific about our documents, about our content. A content type allows us to say, this isn't just a document, it's a particular kind of document. This is a legal document. This is a financial document. And then we can say even more, it's not just a financial document, it's actually a budget. So we can get very specific and create content types that are first broad, like financial document, and then we can create more complex types underneath, budget, proposal, and so on. And here's where that term inheritance comes back again, because if we create a site column and then we create a content type that's broad, the more specific content types based on that content type inherit everything it has going on as well. We can also create specifications for entire groups of documents, and these are called document sets. Imagine, if you will, that you have a core set of documents that you use for a function. For example, in my business, I'm often responding to proposals, and so I have a proposal set, and that proposal set includes a budget estimate, it includes a PowerPoint presentation, it includes a Word document that's a history of my company, and another Word document that's the core of the proposal itself. And that's what I deliver every time someone sends me an RFP. And that could easily be a document set. We also have the ability in document management to set information management policies at the level of a library. So we can say, for any document that's stored in this library, we want to know every time it's changed, and we want to create an audit trail that shows us who changed it and when. Or, here are a group of documents that we want to make sure have a particular barcode on them when they're printed so that we can track them. Those are what information management policies are about. And finally, if you're just crazy about managing documents, you can create something that is called a document center. Now, you could create a document center for every single team if you wished, but often we will be creating enterprise-wide document centers where we'll store documents that are used broadly through the enterprise. But if you have a group in your organization or a particular site that is document-rich, you can consider creating a document center just for that group. For example, the group that's managing all your policies, or the group that's managing proposals. Records are different than documents. Normally when I hear the word record, I think like a row in Excel. But a record is a particular kind of document. Records are documents that we need to care about from the moment they're created until the time they are archived. Normally, records are never deleted. They're archived and stored at the end of their life. And every organization has items that they need to treat as records. Things that they've written retention policies for, auditing policies, and so on. Whatever your line of business is, there are probably some set of core documents that need to be managed very carefully. So you can set up records policies for those documents, but you can also create a record center where those documents live. Again, this would normally be an enterprise-wide function. You wouldn't have a lot of different record centers throughout your organization. You'll have one, and it will be in its own site collection. There are some really nifty benefits to having a record center because you can automatically send documents from other SharePoint libraries to a record center someplace else in SharePoint. Document centers and record centers are both available templates for you to use to create a site in SharePoint Online. Both document centers and record centers are beyond the scope of this course. If you'd like to use a document or record center, then you'll want to spend some real time talking not just with your information technology professionals, but also to talk with the folks in your legal department about what kind of retention policies need to be in place. But we can talk about content types, and we're going to go there next, because when you begin working with content types, then you begin to see the power of managed documents in Microsoft SharePoint Online.